Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back here with year 3 of my season preview and predictions of the Cleveland Cavaliers. We just hit 8,000 subscribers. We're on the way to 10, 150 videos a month, 5 a day. Let's get right into it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Your thoughts. What do you think of this team? Do you think they got better with Donovan Mitchell? What else would you like to see for them? But let's get right into today's, topic. So, Donovan Mitchell, they got him at a bargain, in my opinion. And now, we're just trying to figure out who's the starting lineup. I want to hear your lineup. We'll talk about that. By the way, they have two guys on two ways. Isaiah Mobley and RJ Nembhard are their two-way guys. And they have Jamarco Pickett, who played with the Detroit Pistons last year, Nate Hinton, Sharif Cooper, and Mamadi Diakite, all competing on training camp deals for a roster spot. So we'll see who gets it. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be an interesting season. But let's talk about who potentially could be the starting lineup. I've heard, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. I've also seen lineups where I believe it's either Caris LeVert at the wing position, or there's been rumors that they want to run Evan Mobley at the wing. But all in all, right now, I think it's definitely interesting. While, obviously trading for Donovan Mitchell upgraded this team, it did raise a big question. Who's the starting small forward? And that's going to be the main position battle heading into camp. Last season, the Cleveland Cavaliers rolled out its three big lineup with Lauri Markkanen starting at the 3. Now the Cavs options lie in the guys like Isaac Okoro, Caris LeVert, Lamar Stevens, Cedi, Osman, and Dean Wade. And Coach JB Bickerstaff will focus on putting the best lineups on the floor, but Cleveland has multiple options to work through to see who will fit this role, writes Kelsey Russo. Now, at first look at the starting lineup, the defense lineup obviously would be Mobley, Allen, Okoro, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. Then if you wanted more shooting, Caris LeVert would be, but that's assuming Caris LeVert's going to be consistent. You either go Caris LeVert or Cedi Osman. Cedi Osman's a little bit more, has more of an all-around game. And I think it's definitely, I think it's definitely an interesting case because right here, when you look at this situation, their wing position is just the biggest. Because when you want to think about it, like the front court, obviously Mobley, Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Robin Lopez. And I think right there, that's your 4 guys. And then you have Lamar Stevens and Dean Wade who can play in a pinch. I don't think Jamarco or Mamadi Diakite are going to make the team. Maybe I'm wrong, but look. They're out here. I'm very curious about Dylan Windler. Is that a full-on bust? What do you guys think? Dylan Windler is a full-on bust? They're just moving on from him? Because to me, when I look at this situation, I definitely think the guard position, I know right now, it's definitely hard to say. Because their current roster, if you look at it, they have a 5-guy lineup of Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Allen, and Mobley. Then when a healthy Rubio, until Rubio comes back, it's going to be Raul Neto, who's fine. So right there at the guard position, they have 3 guys. Behind Donovan Mitchell, I guess you'd be playing a bit of Okoro and, probably Caris LeVert there. And even maybe a little bit of Raul Neto once Ricky Rubio's healthy. And I just think it's a bit, the wing position's a bit, it's the shooting that I get a bit concerned about, who's going to be able to stretch the floor. And for me right now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so they technically have 3 roster spots that they could, put in there. And they also have Ochai Agbaji that they traded Ochai Agbaji. And he would have been perfect. My apology. Completely forgot Ochai got traded to Utah. And Ochai Agbaji would have been perfect, okay? And it sucks that they got rid of him because Ochai Agbaji was the guy they needed. And it's hard to say Can you guys agree with me? Like, if they had somehow worked out a deal to keep Ochai Agbaji, it would have been nice because it really would help this. They have 3 roster spots technically that they can give up, okay? Which, honestly, I think Sharif Cooper, I'm surprised that they didn't bring more wings in. And they have Nate Hampton, who was a point guard in college, listed as a, small forward, which is interesting. So Jamarco Pickett, if he can stroke it, I just think we'll see more Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens this upcoming season than expected. So yeah, I think the 5-man rotation, like we previously mentioned, Okoro, Allen, Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell. And then you go off the first couple guys off the bench. That's where I think it definitely gets interesting. For the start of the year, it's going to be Neto, LeVert, Cedi Osman, Lamar / Dean Wade, and probably Kevin Love and Robin Lopez. Like, they're going to have definitely a 10-man rotation where I think, there'll be some guys who play a little bit of minutes, and there'll be some guys who play a bunch. It's just, I think with this team, you're going to have to play a lot of guys, okay? Because regardless of the 5 guys that we mentioned starting, you're going to have, if Okoro's starting, Caris LeVert off the bench. You're going to have Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens off the bench with Cedi Osman. Right there, that's 4 guys off the bench. Then Kevin Love and probably a little bit of Robin Lopez. So right there, you have 6 guys that they're probably going to be rotating off the bench. I think that's how you're going to have to do it. Basically like a 9 to 11 man rotation. And I'm not saying the guys 9, 10, and 11 in the rotation are going to get a bunch of minutes. No, I don't expect them to get tons of minutes. What I do expect them is to go out there and at least, I think the right way to say it would be compete, and make sure that they're giving like breathers for guys. I think that's the most important thing that everybody should be focusing on, is making sure everyone's getting their breathers. Now, my prediction for this team is definitely a top 5 team in the East. I think it's all contingent on their shooting and their defense, and I think defensively they'll be fine. I mean, Evan Mobley could be their starting wing, and then they run either Kevin Love at power forward, or they run, it would be Kevin Love. I don't know. Unless they wanted to start someone else, that it'd be like Dean Wade, Lamar Stevens. But I definitely think this team has a lot more potential than people want to give them credit. I don't know if I can say that they're contenders yet, but I definitely think they're a fun team to watch, and a team that could shock some people in terms of, they could be a team that goes far in the playoffs. It just comes down to, can they defend, the perimeter, and will they be able to hit a shot? Which are all big old questions right now. But with that being said, I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? And are you guys excited about Donovan Mitchell being there? I think Donovan Mitchell might have a career year playing off of arguably the best point guard of his life. I think it's definitely a great time to be alive if you're a Cavaliers fan, okay? Because definitely a few months ago, I don't think anybody would have suspected that Donovan Mitchell would be here now like he is today. So, yeah, peace.